start the recording, and we are live for our third episode. So I'm pretty stoked about that. Now, last time we did this, we went a little bit over our minute mark, so we're gonna have to watch it today. Might have to moderate the topics or whatnot and move on pretty quickly. But David, I already talked to you earlier, and I said that we would have a surprise guest, and you're like, who is it? Like, what's a surprise? Like, hey, you're having a surprise birthday party, but like Ross already knows this person personally. So I'm fixing to add them to our group, and we can go ahead and start. Does that sound good? All right.
Yeah. Okay. I might know them, but I don't know who it is. Oh, it's Ryan. It's my brother.
Hey, Ryan, you're muted. Ryan. You can take your video off if you want to. It's up to you. There you go. Hey, you're still muted, by the way.
Yeah, there you go.
Can y'all hear anything on my computer?
Yeah.
Well, hear you.
Okay, good. That's all you need to hear then.
All right. Yeah. So, Ross, of course, you know Ron Spurlock.
Yeah.
David, this is Ron. Ron is my brother-in-law, Ross's big bro, Kelsey's little bro. And Ron, this is David, former student of mine. Hate to say it, he's a Packer fan, so just be easy on him.
Okay.
Like they did beat my team last night, but they were going against my fourth string. So
yeah, that is actually something. They, you have that when it's like you only have like a couple starters on offense, and they managed to still score 17 points on the Packers.
Well, some of it was pretty scrub work at the end, but
yeah.
But anywho, so Ron, this is kind of what we talked about. I guess I should have told you this earlier. We kind of think about a topic that we want to talk about. So cool. I'm going to go ahead and let David start us off, and then Ron, you can think about that when we come around. So David, what do you want to start us off with tonight?
The NBA.
What about the Nuba? Tell me.
No, the NBA.
Yeah, the Nuba.
No. The whole scheduling and the 72-game regular season.
Talking about starting December 22nd and whatnot?
Yeah.
All right. What's your thoughts?
What my thoughts? My thoughts are, I mean, as much as I want to watch basketball after 45 days, it's not giving the players that played 100 days in the bubble time to rest and get ready. So,
well, I agree because by now this would be the start of the season. Like last week would have been the start of the season. So I kind of agree. Like it's just one more month. I think you could push it to the first of the year, but you don't want to push it to the first of the year and then say, well, we're just going to extend the season. Now basketball season goes from Christmas to September instead of, you know what I mean? If you kind of keep pushing it back. The other thing I'm looking at is there's not going to be a bubble. So there's going to be college football, in Major League Baseball, NFL situations where people are getting COVID. It's going to happen without that bubble. Unless you can do a rotation, but then you have a longer situation where you're not with your family and stuff, and you're not going to want your whole family to bubble. Or we can go with what I've said before, and everybody who played those last few weeks, they could be like the Pac-12 and the Big Ten, and they get a month off. And just let all the scrubs that didn't make it to the playoffs, let them play and just have them join in the middle of the season. Like the Pac-12 and them are doing.
I mean, I don't know. You could have 20% or 50% fan capacity, but like spread it out. To be honest with you.
I would think that it's going to depend now on. Well, no, I don't want to say that. Okay,
Go
so
ahead and say it.
you probably don't want this whole thing to get political. So
I do not.
I'm not trying to be political here, but just with what's going on with the presidency, since it's most likely looking like it's going to be all changed up, you kind of wonder if the NBA is going to take a step back and maybe reevaluate, since there is most likely going to be a new president, and see what he's going to do. And then, maybe, I don't think they'll do this because, I think they already, I don't know much about the NBA, what they're doing right now, but you would think that maybe they would. And then, see, okay, like what's Biden going to do regarding COVID right out the gate, and then try to build it from there. But if they're planning on starting in December, I don't know. I think another good idea would be to, you could almost, I don't know if they thought about this, but you could have the teams that didn't play, have them play in the bubble. And then, once they get done with their tournament, you get closer to the summer, closer to when it's all over with, and then have them play, have that team that gets all the way to the championship game, give them like a couple weeks off, and then have them play the Lakers. You see what I'm saying there? That'd actually be kind of cool.
Yeah, that would be. But then again, the four of us, we don't make the big bucks to make the decisions because our stuff makes sense. It's kind of like with WWE. I feel like, man, I'd have some great storylines that nobody would see coming.
Yeah.
But then they have storylines that they never complete and things like that.
Or they fail to capitalize on a certain spot.
Listen, just because you got cut from WWE off the video game doesn't mean you can comment.
I don't even play WWE.
I know. That's the issue.
I don't even watch it anymore, much less play it.
Yeah, it's kind of boring.
Well, you're boring, David.
Well, excuse me.
That's fine. You're excused. Like Ryan, you have to understand. You got to bear with David. It's been a while since Packers had really won a game. That meant anything. So
you're the one that streams with them, right?
Who, David?
Yeah, he streams with you guys.
He does.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah. David, you can say yes. You know that, right?
Oh, I say yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like quiet, but quiet, yes.
All right, Ross, what you got for us?
Man, I'm excited for some features for the whenever the PS5 comes out and everybody's able to get one. Trying to anyway. And I tagged you in that on Twitter, Ryan. You might have seen it. What I tagged Randy in.
Yeah, I saw that.
But also the PS Plus collection that they announced just a couple weeks ago, I think.
Oh, that's coming with it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's coming with it. If you're able to get your hands on it, which I think is really, really cool, because these are not crappy games. I'm looking at a list of them right now. You've got Days Gone.
The Last of Us.
You've got The Last of Us remastered. You've got the brand new not brand new, but the last God of War game that came out. And if you have PlayStation Now, which I do, and I'm actually playing it, you've got the entire God of War collection on PlayStation Now.
Yeah.
So you can play literally the entire series, plus the new one. Batman Arkham Knight, Call of Duty Black Ops 3. I wasn't a huge fan of Black Ops 3, but some people are. Fallout 4, Final Fantasy, Royal Edition. Just these really, really good, cool games that are going to be completely free if you can. I think that's a really cool feature.
Yeah, I do too.
And I'm really glad they added in there. And I don't know about you, and I actually like that merchandise that I tagged you in. I would wear that jacket. Those jackets and that pants, those look pretty cool. Something I'd wear. I don't think I would wear the, wear the full outfit out in public or anything like that.
Well, your sister rolled her eyes when I showed it to her, so I don't think I'm getting it for. it's not a Christmas gift I'm getting. So.
So anyway, I just wanted to throw that out there. That's something I've been really excited about.
Well, I saw the other day, and y'all probably saw it too. You know, they're not going to have any consoles in the stores, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Which I figured because I've been wondering how they're going to handle Black Friday, which now like the whole month of November is Black Friday for a lot of different outlets. But I've been thinking, you know, so how are they going to do it? Because the Xbox and PlayStation are hot items. People are not really going to want to wait in a single file line.
Yeah.
Especially they're going to have people like us four would go stand in line, even though Ryan wants one. Ryan will get one. Ross will get one. I will get one. And David would get one. And then David sells it. Ross sells it to his friend because his friend won one, you know. So really we're all standing in line. That's what's going to happen. You know? Or people are going to be like, oh, it's for my, like there's going to be a daughter that's 8 years old and a wife, and they're both going to grab one. You know,
and that was kind of the next question I was going to ask is like with all these new features, I mean, you're talking about hundreds and hundreds of dollars worth of games that are going to be free to the PlayStation 5 owners when it comes out.
Yeah.
And I mean, do you think that when it comes to the next gen console wars between Xbox and PlayStation, how much more has Xbox or PlayStation just risen the bar with those features, and you got, you know, wearable gear and usable gear coming out too.
I saw somebody's article today about, you know, it's just their opinion, and they were one of the guys that got like the early preview of it. Mm-hmm. So they unboxed it and did all that. And they were talking about how obviously you can tell PlayStation wants to go digital, which, you know, that's the thing now. Everything is wireless charging. You know, some of the schools, when COVID is gone, they're going to stay digital. Because, you know, so sidetrack real quick, snow days and being rained out are days of the past, because that's going to be a digital day. And our school called it AMI days, when you missed, so you wouldn't have to make up and you would turn in a packet of work. Mm-hmm. But now it's just going to be digital. The kids have their Chromebooks at home, and you're just going to say, all right, share, you know, this school district is out of school on November 1st. Do your work that's assigned to you. See you tomorrow. You know, and that's what's going to happen with the gaming world, which they're going to have to give more than a stinking terabyte of usable. Well, it's not even usable, but I think 650 gigabytes of usable data on these hard drives.
Yeah.
You know, that's just going to I think that's my biggest shock with both systems, is the fact that it's only a terabyte and not 2 or 4. But, you know,
wasn't it like all the systems are like 200 gig all together?
What are you talking about?
Like the PlayStation 5. Like getting all the system setups and stuff like that is like 200 gigs, let alone you only are left with like 600 something gigs.
Yeah, it was like
it's ridiculous.
64. I said that's going to be usable, which is fine. I've got a 4 gigabyte or 4 terabyte game, and most of my games, like the games that I have, majority of them are going to stay on the PS4. I'm going to take, you know, probably about 3 or 4 and transfer the data over. You know, and then a couple of them are going to be on the cloud anyway. You know, that I have, like Madden and Marvel's Avengers, those are all downloads. So I'm just going to download them from my PlayStation store and go from there. So, Brian, what you think
about the console wars, or, you know, what we used to call the console wars anyways? I don't know. I obviously don't have a pre-ordered PS5 or Xbox, whatever the new one's called. So I guess I just get to watch it from afar, and everything. I was kind of thinking about, it got me thinking about games and everything. I think Ross brought up a little bit about, is the PlayStation, or was hinting at the idea of the PlayStation kind of surpassing the Xbox. I don't think that's going to happen, honestly. And one of the biggest reasons why I don't think that'll happen is because the Xbox or Microsoft now owns Bethesda, and with Microsoft owning Bethesda and everything, and also having a stake in Obsidian, yeah, I think it owns all that now again, and some companies are back together. The company that actually specifically made Fallout New Vegas is back with Bethesda because they're part of Microsoft, or they're affiliated with Microsoft.
Yeah.
And so because Microsoft owns all that, you got all the Fallout series. Microsoft could make the Fallout series, and which is a high, it's very popular, and also the Elder Scrolls series, which is extremely popular. You make both of those exclusive to Xbox. I mean, you just it's
you
PlayStation.
Probably get people shelling out for both consoles.
Oh, I'm gonna shell out for both consoles, like just specifically for that reason, because I love the Fallout series and I love the Sky or the I won't say Skyrim series because everyone plays Skyrim still.
Well, the Fallout series, but while it's not going to be on PlayStation, Fallout 4 is going to be on the PlayStation 5.
Yeah, but I mean,
so
Fallout.
Maybe they worked out a deal under the table. I don't know.
Well, that's an existing property on there. I'm talking about anything new that would come out. I would guess. I don't know, but I would guess anything new that comes out in the future will go exclusively. I would figure it would go exclusively to Xbox.
Well, yeah, I feel like that would be kind of like a battle with the whole Halo thing. When I worked at Walmart, when parents would come up and say, "Hey, which system should I do? The PlayStation 3 or do I need to do the Xbox 360?" And I was like, "Well, what does your child like to play?" They're like, "Oh, well, they've been playing this Halo game." I was like, "Well, ma'am, you got to get the Xbox." "Yeah, but that PlayStation, that's pretty good, isn't it?" And I'm like, "Well, it is good. It has a Blu-ray player in it, but if you want Halo, you've got to do that, Yeah. And that's even PlayStation owns the right to Sony. So like that Spider-Man game that came out a couple years ago, it was only for PlayStation. So
are you going to buy the remastered version of the Spider-Man game?
Talking about the one that came out in 2018 or whatever it was?
Yeah.
TBA, to be announced later. I have no idea.
Yeah. Are you going to buy the new Spider-Man game?
Oh, yeah. I've already got that. Because Cheney wants that too. And so, I don't know. I never even bought the DLC packs for that other one like I had planned on it.
Yeah, me neither.
But I don't know yet. I guess I'll just have to see what happens. Because right now, I'm playing Watch Dogs, and I plan on doing Assassin's Creed, and then hopefully by that time, have Spider-Man in my hand. I'll be playing that while I'm still playing, Call of Duty and Madden some. So, but I don't know. I'm curious to see what's going to happen. I still think both consoles are out there. I think they've produced so many more PlayStation 5s because of the want. But like it's crazy seeing Target and Walmart warehouses, people posting pictures of like pallets and pallets and pallets full with all these different consoles ready to be shipped.
Yeah.
And I'm ready to see. I'm ready to see what November 10th and 12th are going to look like, if they're going to have these little waiting rooms or they're just going to let their websites just crash.
Yeah.
I would hope they would do either make their own website link that directs you somewhere, or they would do like GameStop did and have a waiting room that lets so many people in at a time. That way their website doesn't crash.
Yeah.
Yeah, but and tell people if
this
you
is their waiting
make
room.
It to the next screen, don't log out.
This is you getting into the store.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, all right. One more thing. I got one more quick question. Do you guys like any old classic NES games?
Well, yeah.
You love them?
I mean, I play them all the time.
Like what?
I haven't told y'all this yet. My one of my he's not my coworker. He's a deputy prosecuting attorney. He's the chief deputy prosecuting attorney in Lawrence County. Well, actually, I guess District 3, whatever. Anyway, he gave me a flash drive that has 758 classic NES games on it.
Might have to borrow that.
Yeah, well, it should be easily. It's a flash drive, so it'd be easily transferable to another flash drive to copy.
Okay. Well,
I played it a little bit, but it's stupidly hard to play on a laptop.
Yeah.
Due to the controls and the crude haptics on it. But he's supposed to be ordering me, or not ordering me, but like he's supposed to be getting a couple of controllers for it, to where you can plug it into a computer, and go in and set the buttons, to like you would normally play on an actual NES. But I mean, I'm not kidding you, 758 NES games on this flash drive.
Well, I have the NES Classic, and I have it where it's hacked, so it's got every game except like a handful on that. So,
but it's completely free. I've told a few people about it that are interested in it. Like just to say, I told them, I was like, get you a flash drive. I'll get a few flash drives and just maybe transfer them over and mail them out. Anybody who wants to play them. It's an emulator is what it is, but man, it's pretty cool. Like I haven't even gone through, obviously, very few of them.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's some games on there, obviously, like I've never even heard of.
Oh yeah.
But that was kind of a cool addition to the my gamer world, because we were talking about it a couple months ago, really, and he told me he'd get it to me, and he did, and I was pretty impressed by it. Just and especially on on the computer. I mean, it's clear. I say it is easy to control, even though controls are hard to do just because of the buttons.
Yeah.
But that you have to configure to try to and my hand-eye coordination, I guess, is not that good when it comes to those games or playing it on a laptop. But yeah, I look forward to that, man. If you guys are really interested in playing old classic NES games.
Oh yeah.
Like what games are on there?
All right, hold on for a second, David. NES stands for Nintendo Entertainment System.
Thank you.
Okay, it's old. Okay.
Man,
yeah, I figured because I was like, I don't know what they're talking about.
I understand. You're a baby.
Like the only games that I grew up was like Street Fighter 3. on an arcade, like at the very end of arcade games.
I think that's on there. I know there's an Aladdin game on there, and I mean that's just two of 758. I played one called Addams Family. What's the boy's name? Pugsy. Well, I think that's Pugsy, right? Anyway, his scavenger hunt. See what else did I play? Crap, I can't even remember now. But I was, like I said, I was very impressed by it. So we'll get that. Hopefully, maybe over Thanksgiving break or something, or the holiday break. We'll try to transfer that over to some flash drives and send it out so you guys can play them. So surprise, Merry Christmas.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on. Ryan, have you thought of a topic? A surprise topic for us tonight?
Not yet. To be honest with you.
Okay.
Do y'all like just continue doing the round table, or do y'all like, does everyone have a topic and then it's done?
Pretty much right now, because we're trying to limit our thing to about 40 minutes with the time constraint right now until we get on an actual, or till we can actually do a app or an actual podcast. So this is us just trying it out right now. So right now, we just come up with a couple of topics. That way we have something to talk about instead of David wanting to try to make Google eyes through the computer.
What?
So
what, are you not? You haven't bought this app, or you haven't subscribed to it?
to the
Zoom?
app that you no. And the only way I can do it on here, like I don't want my personal or school stuff attached to it just in case something comes up and they can track that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because I could talk for 3 hours, but I don't want somebody like, you can't use this for personal use. So I've been using this, so I only have the 40 minutes. And so we did a Google Meet where that could record one time. So that's what we've been doing while I'm kind of messing around with some of the apps that I've talked with you about.
I know one of the apps that I like to mess around with, or I like to use now, kind of over Zoom, is Discord.
Yeah. I used Discord before.
Yeah, Discord, and you don't have to pay for Discord.
He didn't say disco, David. He's not talking about
Discord.
Music. You can continue doing. I mean, you can. You don't have like a time limit on Discord that I know of.
Okay.
So that's one of the things. Although I guess I could have. I guess if I'd have known that before, because I actually have a subscription to Zoom, I could have made y'all's meeting longer.
Okay. Well, we'll try to remember that next time.
Yeah, I could just make the meeting for you guys if I'm able to be here and continue and everything.
You can just, if you can't, you can just be the moderator and start it, and then we'll.
Yeah, I could.
Every once in a while, you can just chime in, and be like, next topic.
Yeah. Let's see. Let me think of a topic. Since I've been talking about video games, and you don't want to talk about politics.
We're trying to stay away from.
Oh wait, the meeting has been upgraded by the host, and it now includes unlimited minutes.
It has?
Yeah, that literally just said that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that little box came up.
Well, I'm glad I did that because I'm just sitting down, not doing anything.
I don't know. Who's the host?
Me. Well, Merry Christmas, guys.
So did you just
what?
Did you just like subscribe to the app?
I did not. I'm sitting here.
That's weird. That's
not
weird.
doing anything.
I guess we spoke it. We spoke it into existence.
My good looks just said, boom. Whoa, what are you laughing at?
Oh.
Listen, I'm Hall of Fame. You don't laugh at me, son.
That is
no. Hall of Fame, man.
Fame.
You can't rub that in my face with your fantasy Hall of Fame.
I mean,
how many people were in the Fantasy Hall of Fame?
Game.
How many people were in the Fantasy Hall of Fame?
I don't know if this was exactly. Probably about 5 years worth, and they don't even do it anymore. I was the last class.
Yeah, he was.
So I'm fixing to show you something. I don't know if this will make it on the thing or not, and I really don't care because we're just looking for audio anyway. So you can tell people what you think.
Mm-hmm.
Are you looking? Do you see that?
Yeah. Hall of Fame.
Oh, wow. You got a jacket.
Ready? I'm thinking flash. Woo! You see that? Look, there's my name right there. Do you see that? David?
Show off.
Oh, wait. No, you're sitting here telling me no.
I didn't say no. I said you don't get to rub that in my face.
Do you want me to show you my tattoo?
Tattoo?
Yeah, I had to get a tattoo of my bust. Do you want to see where it's at?
No,
okay.
You didn't.
Honestly, you're probably doing yourself a disservice by not having your the bust they created of you as your avatar.
Oh, Lord, no.
For all of for everything that you do. That's what I would do. How many seasons worth of fantasy did you have to do?
Alert. Number 11, Miami, is losing to North Carolina State 41-37 with 6:12 left in the fourth. Even though this won't air for probably about another month, there's the update. So you guys will already know by the time you hear this if Miami won that game. Anyways, Ryan, go ahead.
How many years of fantasy football did you have to do before?
I started playing fantasy football probably in 2001. I actually started playing fantasy basketball with about 6 of us for a couple seasons. And then one of the guys said, hey, I'm going to do a fantasy football league. And I was like, okay. So I played in his league for a couple years, and then one year he was like, I'm not going to do it. He's like, here, you can be commissioner. And since then, I took it over, and then I would play some leagues with some friends that invited me. Like one time I think I was in 4 or 5 leagues at once. And then I've been, these last couple of years, but David knows he was in it. But I did some leagues at the school, mainly for math. And so probably since 01, since I actually played. So almost 20 years worth.
So you deserve to be a part of the Hall of Fame.
Like I would have to
saying.
look at my email of that thing, like the questions they asked, because they asked like, how many seasons have you played? What's the most teams that you've done in one season? How many championships have you won? Like they would ask all those kinds of questions. Then you had to do like open response things, like what was your best season, or what do you consider the greatest game you ever played, and things like that. And that was just like my first part of it. That wasn't all the other steps that led to it that I thought was still fake.
Yeah.
Which, David, I don't even know if I ever told you the whole story, because you were already out of school, weren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you a part of our league right now?
He is not.
Okay.
Him and his brother were sharing a team.
And all we had was Cam Newton and most of Carolina.
Yeah, that was your downfall, but whatever.
Yeah.
Did you pick them all on purpose?
No, like my brother was the one in control. I just kind of was like, hey, I picked defense and certain players. But yeah, my brother's a very avid Carolina Panthers fan.
Yeah, he's an old Cam Newton fan.
I can appreciate that, not as a Carolina fan or a Cam Newton fan for that matter. Although I don't mind Cam Newton, that's beside the point. But I can appreciate that because that's what I did. Like I think the first couple of seasons with my fantasy team is I picked a good chunk of Broncos players, and it's very difficult to have to let some of those Broncos players go every year because, like this year, I didn't keep. Oh my gosh, I just forgot his name. I didn't keep the running back for the Broncos and whatnot. No, yeah, the one.
Lindsey?
Yeah, Philip Lindsay. I didn't keep Philip Lindsay, which I could have. He's been having an okay year. And then I still have 4 Broncos players on my team. I have Locke, Font, Judy, and the kicker. So, but I get it because like eventually eventually they're all gonna come on a bye week.
Yep.
And if you're like me, who also has a hefty amount of Rams players for good reason, I'm not even the biggest fan of the Rams, but they give me so many points every week, or just about every week they give me so many points. And now I have this week where they're all on their defense, their whole team is on bye week, so I get it. You're like, hey, especially if they're doing good, then all of a sudden you get that notification, everyone's out.
I think my biggest issue is when I have to draft or I have a player that I don't like at all, like a Tom Brady. I don't like him, but I know he's going to do good. He's not going to turn the ball over. He's going to give me touchdowns. He's going to get me yards. And I need to draft him. Or the worst thing is when I have a quarterback going against a defense.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know what I want. I need my person to throw a lot of yards, but I don't need my defense to get a lot of interceptions.
See, what I want to have happen on those when that happens is I want my quarterback to do good, but I want my defense. The way I want my defense to do good is I don't want my quarterback to turn over the ball. But if he's throwing to a wide receiver, then I'm okay with that wide receiver fumbling. or I'm okay with the running back fumbling, but don't get intercepted. That's all I got to say.
Yeah. Ross, what do you think?
I'm not much in the NFL, so I don't have much of an opinion on it.
Miami has taken the lead.
Yes.
I knew you'd say yes. You don't even know where Miami's at, David. Just calm down.
It's in Florida.
Is
Good
it?
job. He doesn't
Is
know.
it?
Yeah,
You sure?
I'm pretty sure.
Nope, you done lost him now. He's like, no, I'm not sure.
Do you know where there's another Miami at?
No.
Well, so I mean, Randy could be talking about a different Miami.
Well,
He could be talking about the one in Ohio.
There is a Miami in Ohio.
I didn't know that.
Well, now you know.
Well, yeah.
There you go. That's something you know now.
All right. Ryan, did you ever think of a overall topic you want to talk about?
If I was going to talk about anything, it was probably just going to be trashing Madden, since we're on the topic of NFL and games.
Like the Madden game?
Yeah.
All right. What about it?
Well, I mean, every year around this time of the year, obviously my football enthusiasm goes through the roof. And so I think, I really want to play it and do the other football type things that I like to do. And so I'll get the itch. And since the good Lord hasn't given us back NCAA yet, I downloaded the other day because I have the PlayStation or the EA Plus, whatever you call it.
Yeah.
The EA Play. I think it's EA Play, but I downloaded Madden 20, which is just a horrible game. I hate it so much, and so I'm sledging through it just so I can play football. And everything.
That was last year's, right?
Yeah, it was last year's.
I actually did not get that one.
Well, I mean, do you have this year's?
I do.
It's the same game.
Oh yeah.
And the EA just pumps those titles out and barely changes anything. I have a theory. I don't know if this is correct. I'm pretty sure it's not correct, but I have a theory that whoever's on the cover of that year's game, that position or that side of the ball will get a buff. Because I remember, I think back in 2016, maybe 2015, anytime they've ever had a defensive player on that side of on the cover, it's almost impossible to play offense. Just in my personal opinion.
Yeah.
And this year I'm playing Madden 20, and honestly, it is very easy to play offense. It's very easy to score. It's very easy to throw the ball.
I can see that.
I've always had that theory that they just buff that side of or that position or that side of the ball, and But yeah, I even created characters just because I didn't really want to bother with the challenge at all, and it's still I just hate that game so much.
Well, I think I'm going to bounce off of that topic to what you mentioned, NCAA football. I miss that game.
I did too. Who doesn't miss that game?
Ryan liked this tweet the other day. It was somebody posted a statement that reunites America and Barstool game time. Ryan pulled it up and said EA Sports has decided to bring back NCAA football.
Like, David, did you ever play it?
Oh man, it was
I played a little bit, like PS2 wise.
David, don't talk anymore. You just embarrassed me. I thought you were going to be like, "Oh man, I love it," but never mind. You just embarrassed me.
Okay, no, I'm sorry.
Like, so I think that probably one of the greatest things through this whole COVID thing was seeing Coach Doug's go from team to team for about 2-month period and win national championships and go over a coaching carousel from that guy who, from Pardon My Take, I think.
Yeah.
bought an Xbox 360, went and got the NCAA 2014, and created this character who this guy said, hey, this looks just like me. And he took over his Twitter and pretended to be him and wore the Tennessee stuff. And all these guys bought in. And then all the real colleges, even ESPN, were interviewing this guy because he started having hundreds of thousands of people watching. And like Tennessee was saying, we're going for the W tonight against Michigan. Go Vols. And it's over a video game. The real Twitter handle and Facebook pages and stuff are saying, hey, national championship tonight, and posting pictures of the athletic director shaking this cartoon character's hand. And then like Toledo, when he went to Toledo, same thing. It's like Coach Doug's is coming home. Like, it was like again, the real colleges and the real football teams posting this stuff. And it was just great to see. I watched pretty much every single thing. The coaching carousels I thought was great, but I still regret. That's probably my one biggest thing is I was in the middle of bringing up a low college ranked team when I found out that GameStop, it was the last day to turn in PS3s to put a deposit down on PS4s. And I was left right then, trading my PS4 in and my games. And I wish I still had that game.
Why did they quit making them?
So here's what happened. So it started with the college basketball games because Ed O'Bannon, who played with UCLA in '95, the team that beat Arkansas in the national championship, they complained about their likeness, that there was a character that was number 31 that looked like him, even though all the college games were power forward, number 15, running back, number 5, quarterback, that's how it is. And either you went and edited the names or you could go and pay somebody who would download all the rosters for you, $5, and they would send you that. Yeah, that's what I did.
You doing that,
yeah. But since, and not Darren McFadden, but because Darren McFadden said, well, that guy is black like me and he's number 5, or Ryan Mallett saying, well, that guy's white and he's number 15 like me, that's me. That's pretty much what the basis of it was. And so they sued because that was their likeness being used, even though the characters don't look like them, like football, where they scan your face. And so they've sued and said that if you're going to use our likeness, then we need to be paid. And it went through all that. Well, when the game was being taken off, they decided they were going to bring it back. I don't know if it was the next year or the year after, if they had like a little break in between. But I know the Pac-12, maybe the SEC, a couple of the conferences said, we are not approving our jerseys, our stadiums, none of our affiliated copyrights, our SEC trophies, our Pac-12 trophies, nothing. And so they were like, we can't have those, and what's the point of having a college game?
Yeah.
But, this Madden game this year, the Madden game has like, when you go through the little face of the franchise mode, there's 6 colleges on here. Clemson, LSU, and a couple other ones. And
I guess
I would just play that over and over again just so I could say I was with the college.
And then I think the NCAA games are kind of hard to come by now because I know here in Jonesboro we have a game exchange, and they had an NCAA 14 that was in the display case for like $60.
I could see it.
And that's the one thing I think of was like this. People were starting to get a hold of these NCAA football games and holding on to them. And they're becoming collectible now, or rare because people don't want to give them up. Because
like if they announced it, it would be as big as them announcing, hey, Xbox and PlayStation are coming out November 10th and November 12th.
I keep waiting for it because I remember and I think he was being serious too. And it was probably a while back, probably about a year ago, when I think Kirk Herbstreit talked about or tweeted at EA Sports and said, "What do we need to do to get this rolling?"
Well, yeah, that's because they have approved. I don't know if it's through a lawsuit or if it's just through decision making, but they have approved a path to start not paying players like they would in the NFL, but paying players somewhat or monetizing, players can monetize themselves if they want to, which a lot of times, I mean, I don't want to really go down that rabbit hole unless I just want to, but I'm not personally against that, because if you're like a really good player out there, then hey, if people want to come to you and say, hey man, let me buy that jersey from you, and also can you sign this? That shouldn't be illegal. But yeah, once they get that all ironed out, which will be after COVID's over with, I'm sure. But once they get that all ironed out, we will probably get an NCAA game again.
Yeah, because I know it was about a year ago when they were going through all that, talking about the state of California had done it, and then also other states were going through, and then I think some of the conferences were actually going through it. So
yeah.
I'm kind of for it because, man, I love the recruiting part of it. And then after I played my 4 seasons as the quarterback for Tennessee, I would move on to be a coach because I quit buying Madden, so I quit uploading my player to that. So
Yeah,
I would just become a coach.
I remember you like going to like no-name schools and making them win a national championship.
Well, I remember going to the University of Washington. They were 0-11 and ranked 110th or something, and I had a crappy first year, but I ended up getting like a very, very fast receiver. He was like a 2-star, but he was like a 99 speed. And then I had a decent quarterback. And so I just focused my offense on that and started getting better recruits and turned them into a contender. And then I was like, I remember going to UAPB, and they had like a triple option kind of offense. That was tough to learn on that game, but it was fun.
I love that.
Yeah. Like, like the Madden, I love the games, but the main thing I play on here is just my career mode. And I've kind of lost the itch of playing the defense, because all I do is play my character. I just say down, set, hut, and throw the ball. And David can contest that because we played the other night, and he saw several times I missed my hit stick. My timing's just off.
Yeah.
So, but
I mean, I hope we can get one back. I hope we can get another one in the near future, because I miss playing the NCAA games too, or the NCAA football for sure, and basketball.
Well, that's the main reason I've been buying the Maddens, just so I can have a little bit of a football.
And even NCAA baseball was fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, those are a lot of games. I think they would make a killing if they. I mean, and yeah, it would be difficult. I think it would be difficult to try and figure out how you're gonna get around. Paying some of these college players. I mean, how do you pick? Or are you only going to pay the best ones? Or like Heisman front runners. Because I mean, obviously, if you tried to pay every single college athlete to use their likeness, you're going to burn through your entire profit margin just paying these players. But I hope they can figure it out, because that would be really, really cool to be able to play NCAA football again.
Yeah, I agree. Well, I'm going to end with this, just a little prediction. We'll just get everybody's opinion before we sign off for the night. And again, by the time we post this, it will be later down the road. So when people hear it, they're going to probably think we're all crazy with our predictions. Tennessee, Arkansas, both 2-3, play tomorrow. Tennessee is a 1-point favorite in one of the polls. I'm going to say it. I don't know what the crap Pruitt's doing. I still have a lot of faith in him because I am a Tennessee fan, but I don't know why he's sitting on Harrison Bailey. Like, Garantano's there for his 6th year of eligibility because of, I don't know. I figured we should have moved on from him by now. That Maurer guy hasn't taken over. That Shrout guy hasn't taken over. Like, I don't know why we're sitting on him, because I feel like what's going to happen is we're fixing to start Harrison Bailey in the middle of the year, ruin a red shirt, just like Butch Jones did with Josh Dobbs. So I really think Arkansas is probably going to win by a couple of touchdowns. That's me. So, Ron, what do you think?
Okay, so let's break this down. Arkansas's offense has been improving steadily over the past, let's see, they've played 5 games now. They've improved steadily over the past 5 games. They didn't start out so hot. The last week playing A&M, people from A&M can say all they want about how dominant they were. Just as dominant as they were on the offensive side of the ball, Arkansas was just as dominant on their side on Arkansas when Arkansas was on offense as well. No, we didn't make points when we should, so that gives the edge to the Aggies, but we still carved them up pretty well. Felipe Franks played a pretty good game. That was probably one of the best games the Razorbacks played offensively all year and everything. So if the offense improves, if they score, if they drive down the field, if they manage to score every time they go down the field, that's ideally what every team wants to do, I do think they can edge out Tennessee on that. It also depends on who starts as quarterback tomorrow, who plays quarterback tomorrow. From my understanding, Tennessee.
It's going to be Garantano.
Yeah, I was going to say, from my understanding, I would guess that he's going to be the starter because I think they've announced that, but you never know. I mean, they've had a bye week. They're coming off the bye week. They're coming off a pretty bad loss to Kentucky off a bye week as well.
They're coming against a bad second half against Georgia, a bad practice game against Kentucky, and a patty cake game against Alabama.
Yeah. So, I mean, it just depends on how much they want to scrap. If it was at Tennessee, I would maybe give the edge to Tennessee, but I mean, it is the Razorbacks at the end of the day.
Like, if you look at them, which I've watched every game that they played. South Carolina game, they were tough and gritty, won a close 31-27 game. They dominated Missouri the entire game. They played a great game and had a huge goal line stand at the end of the first half for Georgia. That I'm thinking, they're going to carry this over. They might pull this game out to looking like a totally different team. And since then, it's like they have shut down, and I'm surprised.
Yeah. And then, I mean, but I have to give the edge to Arkansas, and I want to every single game that Arkansas plays, because I think when people say, oh, it was a talent problem, I don't think it was a talent problem. I think we've seen that it's not a talent problem. The only way that Arkansas really lacks in talent is depth of talent and speed. We're playing a lot of zone because we don't have a lot of speed on the defensive side of the ball right now. So, if they pick apart the zone, it becomes a very difficult game. But if he doesn't pick apart the zone, then there's no way Tennessee wins that game.
Ross, what about you?
And I just think it's going to come down to whoever scores more points, man. I mean, gee, no, I mean, I agree with Ryan. Right now, I think the Hogs have a lot of confidence. Yes, they did lose to Texas A&M, but I mean, they weren't completely blasted by Texas A&M. I mean, I think I talked to a couple friends about this, and I'm getting really tired of like a lot of these Hogs fans who there's no in between. They think the Hogs are the worst team in the nation, or they think they're going to win a national championship.
Yep.
And they don't look at the real picture. Hogs walked into Texas A&M and who's the number 8 was, man, I don't know what they're ranked this week, but the number 8 team in the nation, and only lost by 12. And you're talking about a team who just the previous year ago was losing to non-Power 5 teams in convincing fashion.
Well, yeah, and to add to that point, we lost. I mean, we were down. We were down scores because without getting blocked, we missed 2 crucial field goals. I mean, if we
and they, that O-line, Texas A&M's O-line was rock solid.
Yeah, they're good.
They're all right. They're good. They were against the Razorbacks.
They're all right.
There was not a whole lot of pressure on the quarterback for Texas A&M. That's not. But anyway, what I'm saying is that Arkansas has a lot of confidence going in and playing Tennessee right now. They're getting better every game. You've got 2 linebackers that are, God, if they're not NFL bound now, by now they scouts are not paying any attention.
No, that will be.
Felipe Franks is playing great. He's not making a whole lot of mistakes. Receivers are, catching the ball a lot better. Rakeem Boyd, I mean, he had a great game. There's a lot of positives. There's a lot of positives. Now, I think if Tennessee can force some turnovers and capitalize, then they got a good shot. And like Ryan said, if you pick apart that zone defense, then they got a good shot.
I think Arkansas's run defense is a little bit high up there, and Tennessee has a pretty good rushing with Chandler and then sophomore Gray. If Tennessee's run game can be consistent and can go out there and be powerful, then I think that would be the only benefit in Tennessee's side, because that takes pressure off of Garantano, and the ball's not in his hands.
Can he scramble, or does he scramble?
He can. He won't.
Okay, I was going to say, a lot of Arkansas's run defense did hold A&M to, I think it's fewest yards last week, and a good chunk of those yards actually came off of, if I'm correct, I could be wrong about this, slightly wrong about this, but a chunk of those yards came off of Mond scrambling out of the pocket. So they didn't play as bad as I thought they might play. I actually thought Texas A&M was going to run it all up on Arkansas.
6 carries for 32 yards. A guy named Smith got 3 carries for 31. Another guy got 4 for 39, and then Spiller got 21 carries for 82, and they had a total of 182 yards.
Yeah, but I mean I know that's a lot, and I'm not discrediting anything, and I'm not saying Arkansas's run defense is just grand, but they didn't play as bad as I thought they played.
Oh yeah.
I thought they were gonna play. Not I thought they played. I thought they were gonna play. Because I really
that's
thought
what I was
going to
saying.
run the
Like
ball.
anytime, like I said, to a lot of these Razorback fans, anytime Arkansas is not winning against a top 10 team and they're on the road, then they're the worst team in the nation. That's just obviously that's not true. They lost by 12, and I think they could beat Texas A&M.
They could have.
They could have. They had every opportunity to beat Texas A&M. And I think, in my personal opinion, that they should be the favorite against Tennessee. Get the ball in the hands of Traylon Burks. Get Rakeem Boyd out. On open field. Play good defense. Golly, Grant Morgan and Bumper Poole. Man, when them guys are combining, 20 plus tackles a game. Sometimes both of them are close to 20. The Arkansas puts themselves in a position to win. And let's be honest, almost every game they've been in, save for Georgia, and even against Georgia, I think they had a chance to win against Georgia if they had come out and played in the second half. They've been in a position to win.
Yeah.
And that's been Arkansas's problem in the past. They don't typically finish like they should. Granted, like last week, man, they played to the very end, and I love seeing that. That's something we haven't seen in a while from Arkansas. That they're not quitting, even when they're down. They're not quitting. So that's a good positive, I think, when it comes to this new team, this new system, and especially with Sam Pittman, man. He has turned this program around already.
They should win. They should win tomorrow.
They should. Yes,
They should. They should definitely beat LSU.
Especially after Auburn thumped them.
I think they'll beat Missouri. It's going to be in the swamp, but I would not count Arkansas out against Florida at all.
I wouldn't either.
And while I'm not a person that subscribes to this idea of we want Bama, I think Arkansas will probably surprise Bama. Not in a big way, but I think they'll surprise them a bit. Because, the biggest part of Sam Pittman's philosophy, which is one of the things that I really enjoy about him, is if you're going to beat Arkansas, you're going to earn it. And so they're going to earn it. It's like, well, it's already given that we're going to beat them. But, yeah, that might be. But you're going to come out of that going, oh, wow, that's a better team. And plus, we'll have Bama the week after the Iron Bowl. So, yay.
Well, David, you got a take on it?
Nope.
Why not?
I don't watch enough college to.
It's because you're always sleeping and stuff on Saturdays and watching your cartoons.
Are you just an NBA guy?
I'm more of a pro sports athlete.
No.
He watches lacrosse. He's a big lacrosse guy.
I believe it.
All right, David.
What
you got to say before we sign off? Oh,
nothing,
that's nice.
Really. Nothing.
Good word, David.
Well, good positive note to end on the night, David.
Yeah.
Who do you have going to the Super Bowl?
Me,
Oh, God, don't get him started on that.
Right now, I would say Pittsburgh.
No,
and
David. No, David.
What do you want me to say? Pittsburgh or Seattle?
No, not Seattle. Every year, Seattle starts out hot, and they just, sometimes they get there, but I just don't know. I like Russell Wilson, but no, not Seattle. It's gonna be someone from the NFC East.
Yeah, with their record of 4-12.
Yeah. That's where they're gonna get you. That's what's gonna happen.
They'll make everybody think that would be funny as crap. The 4-12 team make it to the Super Bowl and they win.
I'm just glad that they're not all good this year. I don't know what I would do if the Super Bowl was the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Washington football team.
I don't know what to think about the Washington football team.
I think they need to hurry up and find a mascot. It's been way too long.
Yeah. I agree. Because I felt like they were going to have it in place and it was already going to be on the Madden game, but no, it's the Washington football team.
I think that's just what they're going to keep, just the Washington team. Pretty sure.
I think I'm just going to call you David. I'm just going to call David the guy.
Okay.
All right, guys. We're going to end there because, I gave you all a free upgrade of an extra 30 minutes somehow. So, pretty good chat tonight. Ryan, Thank you for joining us.
No problem.
Giving us your intake and feedback.
You're welcome. It's pleasant to be doing this over watching the political sphere.
Now, I want to let you know before you end up contacting me afterwards and asking how much do you get paid for this. We don't have that money yet. That David's doing all the budgeting for that. So we'll have to.
Oh, I totally forgot that was part of the plan.
Yeah. So David will be that comes out of his paycheck.
Wait a minute. I didn't get a memo. I didn't.
All right.
No.
How do I mute David? Let me see.
Wait a minute.
But anywho, Ron, thank you for joining us.
No
Ross,
problem.
same
No
with
problem.
you.
No problem. Enjoy
David,
it.
I like you too, David.
Yeah. Well,
You're all right.
All right, guys.
Okay.
We will chat again, and I'll keep up with y'all on the flip side. We'll see y'all
All
later.
right.
Yeah.
Bye
Bye,
bye.
y'all.
All right.